I think, sir, internet issues, sir. It's okay now, sir. Sir, some interruptions were there.
Yeah. Okay. So what I was telling is that the hands-on is really important, and because demonstration doesn't serve the purpose. Just by demonstration, we can understand that what exactly the thing is that and how it is performed, and what will be the input, what will be the processing, what will be the output. But once you do the things by your own, you really understand it and have a good understanding of the thing. So that is why in this particular training program, the demonstration part is kept minimum and hands-on part is maximum here. So you will be able to create your own data, and ultimately you will come up with a beautiful map. And meanwhile, during that the entire process, you will be doing some kind of data analysis also. So that is actually the real power of GIS. So I hope that. So have you tried some hands-on today after madam's session? Anyone, please open your mic and let me inform. Let me know what exactly has been told you, and just in brief, I want to know, so that I can take up the things from there and can start telling you the things. So, will anybody would like to share? Hello. Okay. So you have not done any hands-on thing, but you have understood the concept and the process, that how it will be done or how it is done. So I'll just quickly tell you that what is the purpose of georeferencing. That we do georeferencing just to assign the coordinates to the map, because once we scan it, and as you saw yesterday, when I added the raster map to QGIS, and when I was moving the cursor over the map, I was getting some random coordinates, 116 comma minus something 1007 or something like that. So these were the random coordinates. But in GIS, what we do, whenever we use create a data, we create the data on the real world coordinates. Okay, so it is necessary to designate or define coordinates of that particular map, which which you will be using to create your own data. So the data creation using a scanned map is known as the digitization. That is the process of digitization. You convert a raster map into a digital map. Of course, raster map is also a digital map. But when you create a vector map from a raster map, that process of conversion is known as the digitization. I think all of you must be familiar with the process of digitization, because in AutoCAD also we try to digitize the things many times. So, so before the starting the digitization, it is important to assign the coordinates to that particular map which has been scanned. Now, what kind of coordinate we can assign? So you have gone through a presentation in which what kind of projection systems are available, what is their purpose and all that. So you know the basics of that now. So mostly the best way to use the coordinate system is the geographic coordinate and WGS84 datum. So if the map is belonging to that particular coordinate reference system, we can just use QGIS to georeference that map using that coordinate reference system. Or later on, if we wish to transform that coordinate to UTM or some other type of coordinate system or projection system, we can always convert that into some other projection. So that is not an issue. Okay. So I will just share my screen and I will try to demonstrate the things again. And after that, I will request all of you to do the georeferencing on your own computer so that you will gain confidence. So first, so now don't do anything. Just whatever I am demonstrating, you just see it, try to understand it. Need not write down anything else. You just see it, and so and in a natural course you will understand it and learn it. And after that, I will just give you a link to the document where you'll get a systematic step-by-step process to do the digitization. So that's why you don't bother about writing or jotting down anything. Okay. So just wait for a few moments. I'm sharing my screen with you. Okay. So we will open.
I think some internet issues with at experts end. I think so. Be patient, kindly.
Okay, sorry for the interruption. My internet is giving trouble today. So am I audible? Please give me feedback.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you. So I'll just repeat what I was telling. So whenever we want to do the georeferencing, we decide a coordinate system on which we want to create the data, and we just open the QGIS for that. And inside that QGIS, we open the raster image which we want to georeference for the digitization purpose. Because after digitization, we will create data on it. Means we will draw lines, we will mark points, we will create polygons. So that will be just a process of tracing, like traditionally we put a map on the light table, put a transparent film on that, and trace the things with the help of a pencil or pen. So that kind of a process has to be done. But here, the tracing will not be continuous, it will be digitization. So wherever the line will have a curvature, you will put more points on that, and that way you will go on creating the data or digitizing the lines, points, and polygons. Okay. So for this, we have to use the functionality which is available in QGIS. So I was telling that we can add the data through add vector layer or add raster layer, because we don't have any vector data with us, but we intend to create such data. And for creation of such vector data, we need some base map. And that base map is maybe a Survey of India topographic map. It may be a map of a colony. It may be a map of municipal corporation or a project command area, river basin, or anything. So if it has got the coordinates defined on it, we can use those coordinates to georeference this map, means we can assign the coordinates to this map. So I'll just open first, I will open the raster map here in QGIS as we saw it in yesterday, but again we'll do it now. So this is the raster map and I have added it. So you see that the map is visible. And even I can, on this map, I can create some data. I can do digitization, not a problem. But you see the coordinates here. So the coordinates, if you see the bottom of the screen in the middle part, you see the coordinates are coming 808, comma minus 1311. Means X value is 808 and Y value is minus 13. Like as I'm moving upwards, the Y value is decreasing, and here the X value is increasing. And definitely, this is not the thing which I want. See, because the coordinates are shown on my map, they are displayed on my map. So we have got the tick marks here. So the value of this tick mark is 75 degrees 18 minutes and 23 degrees 6 minutes. So when I bring my cursor at this point, the coordinate should be displayed this way, not like 161 comma minus 306. Okay. Why I want to do this? Because I want to designate, I want to create the data on a global this thing scale. So I just want to fit this map on the globe. That is somewhat that sort of thing I'm trying to do it here. And once I do that, whatever the drawing I will do, that will be just directly in the real world coordinates, and whatever the calculations will be performed, they will be accurate and correct. We won't have to define the scale of the map. So it is at 1:1. Okay. Of course, when you display it, it is in a reduced fashion. But originally, the data which we are creating, that is at 1:1. Okay. So definitely, we cannot use this map here in this state. So for that, as Madam might have told you, that we can just use the Geo Referencer here, and using that we can. So you can just go to the raster tool, and here there is a Geo Referencer option. On many of the participants may not be having this option visible on their computer. So when you just start working, if this thing is not coming on your computer, then I will tell you what to do for that. Okay. So Geo Referencer, once you click on this Geo Referencer, you will find another window will open. Means it is a separate executable file. It is a separate program. So it will just occupy a screen. So there another window is opening, and you can maximize it because we will be working with this window. And here again you can see there is an open raster icon is there. This icon is exactly the same which is here. Okay, so now we will open the raster data here. So I have to navigate to the folder where I'm putting my data, and in our case we are putting the data on D drive. But in my case, it is not on D drive. So I'll just no, it's on some other folder. Just a minute. We may call it technique. That goes on the So this is data for workshop folder is there. It is in case it is in your case it is on drive D. So I'll just click on it and open. The same raster map is coming here, and even you can say that's transformation not set. See the right bottom, and even some random coordinates are appearing here. So now using this tool, we will just assign the coordinates to this particular map. So for that, what we'll do, there are options like add point, delete point, move GCP point. So I think we need not to go to the delete and other options. We can directly go to the add point. The concept is that what we'll do, we'll zoom this map up to a certain zoom level so that I can very clearly put the marks here, points here. And in a clockwise manner from left to right, I will just start clicking on these points. So I'll just select this option, add point. Now see the cursor. So once I click on this, a cross cursor will come, and the map should be displayed in such a way that I can just oh, sorry, the coordinate should be visible. So it should be done in such a way. Yeah, okay. So I'll just precisely then don't use this one, okay, because the map is clearly saying that this intersection, the value x value, that is longitude value is this, and for this line, so I will pick up this particular point, not the top one, and I'll try to keep it in the center as accurate as possible, as accurately as possible. Now it is asking me what are the easting values and what are northing values, x and y. That is, the x is the longitude and y is the latitude. So I can write 75, then space, then 18. We cannot put special marks, degree or east or alphabets. So it will understand that first is the degree, second parameter is the minutes, and if the third parameter is there, again you can put a space and can write. Here in this case it is 0, so we don't have to write it. Then another one is the latitude is 23 degrees, 6 minutes. Okay, then we'll say click. See, the point has come here. Okay, now we'll click on the next point. Click it here. Yes. Now I have to see the values. So I will write 76, 12, and this will be the same 23, 6. And say OK. And I think views, I should put panels GCP table. Yeah. So this GCP table was off. So what I did, I added 2 points. So the actual map coordinates were 154.791 and source X was this and Y was this. But I told the system that no, don't use 1454.791, it is 75.3. And the Y value is 23.1. And you might be wondering that we entered the values as 76.12, and here it is showing 76.2, because the values which are displayed on the map, they are in degree, minute, seconds. And here it is showing the values in degree decimals. Okay, suppose I say 75 degrees, 30 minutes. So when I convert it into decimal, it will be 75.5. Okay, 75 degrees, 45 minutes, it will be 75.75, like that. Okay, so because the numbering system is different, that is why this conversion will not match. I think you must be having a fairly good idea about it. Okay, so we have added this one. Now we move to the bottom part. So for panning, you can use this pan button, and you can just pan. Just press the left mouse button and drag it onto the top. You will reach to the bottom of the map. And now we will just assign the coordinate of the third point, this one. So again, I will go to add point. As precisely as possible, I will try to take the center of this line. And the values here are 76 space 12 and 22 12, and say okay. Now see, one more row has been added here. Now I will move to the left bottom, and here again I will add one more point like this. And this is 75 18 and 22 12. Okay. So this way we have marked all the 4 points. Now we have just told the system that no, I don't want this source, XN source, why I want this instead of this. So now we have just defined our coordinates. Now we have to instruct the system to do the transformation, because you know when you transform one matrix to another matrix on some different projection system, you have to do some kind of mathematical operations. Okay, some transformation equations will be executed, and these points will be, their values will be redefined and reassigned. Okay, so that is a complex process. There's a lot of mathematics is involved in that. So we need not to go into that. So, but we have to initiate that process of georeferencing. So you can see the options available here. Start georeferencing. And then one more thing is transformation settings, because there are various ways of doing it. So we can just pick up the transformation type. So we can use the polynomial one, and nearest neighbor will pick up. These are the simplest way, but if specifically, if we know what exactly we want, what type of map it is, and we are converting into which type of projection, if we know the mathematical details of that, then we can use the other options. But simply, if you are not much aware with the mathematics, complex mathematics involved in this, so you can use the polynomial one, and resampling method will be nearest neighbor. Okay, then we have to say the target SRS. SRS stands for Spatial Reference System. In some systems, it is known as CRS, that is Coordinate Reference System. So SRS and CRS is the same. So as we are creating data on a world geodetic system and geographic coordinate, the code EPSG code for this geographic coordinate is 4326. Okay, so EPSG stands for European Petroleum Survey Group. So these codes were evolved by them. Okay, so European Petroleum Survey Group, because they are creating the data, they are generating the data globally. So they evolved some kind of a coordinate system. So that is why EPSG is there in that thing. So you have to remember this 4326 stands for geographic coordinate. Okay, so this we have defined. Now output raster name we have to give, because this image will be modified. It will be slightly stretched, it may be tilted or compressed, or something will happen to this. Okay, so naturally we will not like to lose the original data. So what we'll do, we'll give here a name, a different name. So it has already added a new name to this. So our data was raster map. So it has added, modified its name as raster map underscore modified. If you want to give some other name, you can go to that folder and you can modify the name. But there is no harm in using this particular name also. Okay. Compression, we don't want to compress the data, because compression means it will create JPG kind of a thing, and the quality will be reduced. So we are not interested in that. So we'll leave it. So we have to define this polynomial one, nearest neighborhood, and target SRS, and just say okay. So we have just defined it, and then we will go for the processing. You see, processing is done. and the residual pixel value is coming here less than 1. Means my transformation is correct. It is not having, and even RMS error is there 0.3. So if anything below 1 is fairly good. But if the error is 1, 1.5 or something like that, then you have to redefine your points because you have not placed the points very accurately. But you saw that I took little time to put these markings, and I tried to put them as accurately as possible. But if the points will go this or that way, then in that case some kind of error will come. Okay, so this is now our georeferencing has been done. Means the system has created a copy of this map on the defined coordinate reference system. So let us go to that location and see whether it has created or not. So I'll just go to the data for workshop is here. You see, raster map, but it was my original JPG file, and this is a modified Tiff. Now you see the size, 1.27 megabytes, and here it is 19.3 megabytes. So anybody has any idea about the difference between the Tiff file and the JPG file? Will somebody will come forward and tell me? Would like to share about it? Your concept of it. Anyway, what is JPG file? Don't take me wrong. I'm just not trying to test your knowledge or skill sets, just because I just want to have a two-way communication. That's why I'm asking it. So if you're knowing it, it's really good. And if you don't know it, then we can definitely discuss what exactly.
Images are represented in JPG, sir.
Okay. So and so bitmap, we also use BMP, we use JPG, we use TIFF, we use GIF, we use PNG. So many file formats are there. Okay. So now you see what has happened. It has by default it has created a TIFF file. Okay, the type is TIFF. So TIFF is an uncompressed file format. So if you try to zoom it, so a lot of details will be available. In JPG, the quality will reduce after certain this thing. Okay, so it is a compressed format. So this JPG format, the full form of the JPG is Joint Photographic Expert Group. So photographers have developed this format. And why they have developed this format? Because in digital camera, they wanted to store more images, and the cost of memory was very high initially. So they wanted to store the data, more data on the same memory stick. So that is why they evolved a format which was a compressed kind of a format. So the photograph, the quality of photograph will be deteriorated, it will reduce, but human eyes will not be able to perceive that. Okay, but if you want to do some kind of image processing on that JPG file, you will not achieve the results. For that, you have to have raw data. You have to have a bitmap file or a TIFF file or a raw image file. And when you have a raw data or a TIFF data or a bitmap data representing the same area, same size of photograph, the image size will be very large. Okay, so because the objective of the photographer is to take a snap and print it, so for that it is okay. But if you are really interested in some kind of a image processing, then JPG is not a good format. So whenever you download satellite data or you go for the scanning of your maps, don't go for JPG. You just have a TIFF file so that you can process it and you can increase or decrease the quality of that image at any point of time. Okay, so that is it basically. So this image has been created. Now the work related to this is over. But if you want to store these coordinates, this GCP table, GCP stands for ground control point. So what we did, we defined the coordinates of this particular the point using this system. But in many instances, it may happen that we may not have a map with the coordinates defined on it. So in that case, what we can do, we can go to the particular part of the field or the land, and we can pick up the coordinates using some GPS or something. This junction, road junction, I can stand in the center and can get the coordinate using a handheld GPS. I can go here, can capture the coordinate. No, it's not road, it's a district boundary. So similarly, you can do it for road. You can take this road junction, you can take this road junction, you can take this road junction, we can take this road junction. So some 4 equally distributed points we can take, or even more points we can take. And then instead of reading the things from here, I will use this particular point for the for add point. I will use this particular point, and what value I will enter here, whatever I have brought from the field, that data I will enter here. So that way we can georeference a map. So suppose you are a colony map. So you are developing a colony and the colony map is there, and you want to georeference it. So what you'll do? You'll go to the corners of that colony boundary, or you'll use some major roads in the colony. And but it's better to pick up the corner values. So whatever the polygon which is defining your colony, you move to each corner, so that corner should be visible on the ground as well as it should be clearly identifiable on the map. Okay, so you'll go to the ground, use a GPS or your mobile phone, record the coordinate, and make a list, make a sketch of it, name them corners that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, C, D, E, F, G, write the coordinate there itself. Come to your office, open QGIS, open that scanned map, and just mark the values the way we did here. So this way you can even come up with a colony map which is georeferenced. And when you try to open this map on Google Earth, it will open at an appropriate place if the coordinates recorded are correct and the georeferencing has been done correctly. Then it will precisely open at its correct geographical location. Okay, so now the work of this is over, but we can save this always. So save GCP point, click on it, and remember that whenever you are saving the data, please mind the stop bar. Where you are saving, you should always know it. Otherwise, you will not be able to find your data. Okay, so that is why we have created a folder on D drive. So we will be saving our data in that same folder. So raster map, we call it GCPs, ground control points. Say, now see what has happened. It has created a GCP point file. Where this file will open. Next time you open this QGIS, the Geo Referencer, you can just say load GCP point. This table will open in front of you, and the points will be marked on the map. Okay, so later on, if you want to modify them, either you can edit these values, or you can select the point and can move it and can do the Geo Referencing again if the residual error is 1 or above. Okay. So now this work is over, so we'll close it. Yeah. So now the next is that what we have to do, we have to open our map and check. So I'll go to add raster. Then I just go to the same folder where I'm keeping my data. So now I will carefully open the modified file, not the older one, and say open, and say add, and say close. See, what has happened? Oh yes, yeah, it's correct. So now you can see the coordinates here. Okay, 75.3, 23.08. So precisely some minor variations may be there because the error was not 0, but it is fairly good. Okay, so if you move around the map, you will find the coordinates are there. Whatever is displayed on the map, the same values you are getting here. Means now on top of this, if you digitize something, if you try to put some marks or points, automatically the coordinate of that point will be the position of the mouse. So in that way, we can digitize this particular map and can use the real world coordinates over here. Okay. So this is okay. Somebody has raised hand. Ankita Srivastava. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
how we can change coordinate into degree minutes because it's not displaying in the same format which is given.
Actually, the best way to display the coordinate is in degree decimal, because what
Because
is
the
happening is,
coordinate given below is not it's showing in the points. It's showing the distance. We if we want to show it in the degree minutes, what should we do for the settings?
I think here on the bottom menu bar, we cannot just show the things in degree minute seconds. It will be displayed in degree decimals only. Okay, because we are not going to do anything with this. Fine. Your concern will arise only then when you try to print this particular map. Okay. So when you print the map, then at that time you will say, I don't want the degree decimal, I want degree minutes and seconds. So on that map, the things will be printed that way. So if it is displaying the things this way, I think it should not be a problem for us. Okay, because a tentative calculation you can always perform, no? Is 75.18 means it is close to 15. 15 means 75 degrees, 15 minutes means what? 75 degrees, 25, because 60 minutes are there, no? So you just 30 will be 50%, 15 will be 25%, 45 will be 75%. That way it is calculatable. So don't bother when you create a final map and just go to the print composer. These values, whatever as a tick values, tick mark values of the latitude, longitude, you can always display them in a system you want. Even you want them in UTM meters, you can display them in meters. You want them in degree decimal or degree minute second, whatever format you want, you can always convert it. Okay. Okay. Shailesh Kanungo is also raised hand. Please. Yes, please. Who wants to ask the question? Mr. Kanungo?
No, sir.
I think you raised hand. Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So Ankita ji, your question is answered, or still some doubt is there?
Thank you, sir. Actually, I was looking to the settings where I found the settings and I did it.
Okay.
Thank you,
Because
sir.
I'm also not aware of this, because we seldom need this basically, because we are not concerned
Yes.
about this,
Uh,
because
because it's a
it is just
project
for,
properties. So project properties
yes,
here,
yes,
journal,
yes,
I
yes,
did the
yes.
settings change and it
Okay,
is
okay,
showing
okay.
it degree
It is
minutes
showing
now.
in
Thank
degree
you, sir.
minute seconds. Okay, that's
Okay,
good.
sir. Thank you, sir.
But actually for calculation purpose, degree decimal is more useful rather than, because if you want to subtract or add certain values, then degree decimal is the best thing. Okay. And
Okay, sir. Thank you.
if you really want to understand that how these conversions take place, then you can just go to. Can you see the new screen now?
Yes, sir.
You can go to shaleshchore.com, and here some GIS tutorial is there. And on this tutorial, it's taking some time. How to convert degree minute seconds to degree decimal, and vice versa. Okay. So what exactly has to be done, it is there, and even a sample Excel file with formula is given. So you can just write in the values there and it will do. And of course, there is always an option to go to the settings and tweak around, and you will most probably find the thing. But I rarely needed it, so I didn't explore it. Okay, I was having this idea in my mind that it must be somewhere in settings. Anyway, that's good that you explored. That's fine. Okay, so now our map is ready for the digitization. So this is the complete process of georeferencing a map. Okay, now I will request all of you to do it at your end, so that if you face some difficulties or problems, then we can just address it again and just try to rectify it, so that in the next class when you'll do the digitization, you should be ready with this. Otherwise, whatever data you will create, that will be meaningless. You won't be able to do calculations on that. You will not be able to bring the data from Google Earth or your GPS device onto this map. So it has to be done accurately. Only then the rest of the things will be possible to be done. So I think you just try it on your computer. And if you're facing some problem, you just raise hands or you can open your mic and just ask directly. We'll just discuss it and try to resolve it. Okay. Okay, so please go ahead. And whosoever has done it, just in the chat box, they can write that I have done it successfully. So then in that case, we may even ask you to share your screen so that others also can see that what you have done, how the things are appearing on your computer. Okay, so I'm just putting off my video and microphone. Acha, Ankita Srivastava has done very good. Veena Kumari, good, very good, very good, very good. So let us wait for others to complete it. And if they are having some problem, then we'll just see. Those who are facing some problem in georeferencing, they can just go to my website, shaleshchore.com. Then they go to GIS tutorials, and here there is one document available. It is saying how to georeference a map in QGIS. So step-by-step instructions are there along with the screenshot. Of course, this is an older version of QGIS, so not a problem. Overall, the methodology is the same. So you can use this also. Because it is an older version, that is why the SRS and other things are appearing at different places. But you can just refer this particular thing to use it. So you can go there and download this PDF. I think it's not a PDF, it's just a page. Okay, but you can read the things from here also, not a problem. ये अभिषेक जी आपका वीडियो ऑन है, उसको ऑफ कर दीजिए.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I did it simultaneously when you did the thing. But now I am trying again, but the Geo Referencer thing is not coming. When I click that, it's not that one more window has to come now, sir. It's not visible now.
No, but first you have to define the georeferencing settings. Huh? Have you defined the settings?
Pardon, sir?
You have to georeferencing options. You have to define settings. You have to go to the.
Okay, sir. I'll check it out again. Otherwise, I'll share.
It is transformation settings. You have to.
Okay.
Tell the system that what kind of parameters you want to keep for this thing. So
okay,
without
sir.
that, it will not do.
I'll try. Thank you. Sir, shall I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me, sir. Share it, sir. शेयर इट सर. आवाज आ रही है आपकी आपकी तरफ मेरी? हाँ, मीना कुमारी जी अभी वो कर रहे हैं. सर अपना सर इज
Okay, ma'am, I'll wait. Yeah.
ओके ओके जस्ट वेट. I think now you can share.
Okay, ma'am, I'll do. Ma'am, actually, it's coming again. So, no issues as such.
We'll sort it out. Okay, just
Yeah.
wait. I think you can share. Just try.
Actually, that Geo Referencer window is now coming, ma'am. There is no issue at all.
No. Now I have enabled the sharing option. You can try if.
Actually, I told that I had some issues with the.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
It got solved. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
So please update others who could not do it, just whether they are doing it or not doing it. Some they are
Okay.
facing some problem. Then
Are there
please
any
let us know.
queries? You can share your screen and ask the like you can discuss the matter with Sir Abhi. Sir is here.
Or is it that rest of the people are joining through mobile phone? That's why they are not able to do it. What is the thing exactly? We should know. Otherwise, we're unnecessarily waiting for the things. So just let us know. Uh, Everyone, I think one by one should pick up the mic and tell. But what is the status? So what about Abhishek Gupta ji?
Can I
Seems
request
he's not.
everyone to on their video and interact with the expert? Are they doing or
One by one, they should come. One
okay,
by one, not
one
all
by
at
one?
once.
Sir,
Abhishek Gupta ji.
currently system not available, but it is installed in the other software.
Okay, then Abhishek Gupta ji, Amit. Yes, Nima ji. Your microphone is off. Nima ji, your microphone is off.
Yes, sir. It is done,
Please
sir.
put on your microphone. Okay,
Okay,
okay.
sir.
It's done.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
It
you
is
have done
done.
it. Yeah.
Easily done.
You,
And
yeah,
I experiment that I can measure the length, area, etc.
good. Okay. So now I think those who are already updated in the chat box, I think they need not to.
Okay, sir.
Jack Ark is asking, sir, when can I get pick of Indore for work? What is it? I don't know. What is your question? Please come forward and just discuss. Jack, are you there? It seems that most of the people are using the mobile phone to join this. That's why
Still,
we are not getting
still I
any.
request everyone to say at
So,
least hi. Like just
madam, I think you try to get a feedback from them that how many of them are with the laptop, so
okay,
that
sir.
we will not waste time in waiting for their responses. No?
Okay,
If
sir.
some 5, 10 people are there, then just once they say they okay, they have done it, means then we will not wait, because right now we are not knowing exactly how many of them are
Yes, sir.
are not on laptop.
I'll do that, sir.
Okay, I think if nobody is responding, that it means that they are not having the computer systems with them. So there is no point in waiting for them. Okay, so we move ahead with our this thing.
Okay, sir.
So
So
we have
one question, sir. So what is the best suggestion for you for selection of points for georeferencing? Like what should be the sequence of selection of point? Like clockwise or
no, that hardly matters. When we say clockwise or anti-clockwise, just because you don't miss anything. That's just for that. Otherwise, we can take the point the way we want. Because you see in this GCP table, every point is defined as a separate entity. Suppose I load the GCP table here again.
hmm.
See, they may come in any order, not necessarily. But it is for our good that we just don't forget or don't miss anything. That's why. Because we are doing this simplest way, simplest approach we are adopting. But if you go for polynomial 2, then in that case, we have to take 7 points. So many times we have missed some of the things. So that's why it is always good to proceed in a systematic manner. That is it. Basically.
Okay.
Okay, so so this way we will just georeference the things, and for data creation we will need a georeferenced map. Okay, now the question arises that is it really necessary to have a scanned map to start the work? No, it is not like that. We can create the data even from Google Earth. We can create the data from a downloaded satellite imagery from Bhuvan or any other website where it is available. So once you download a satellite image, that image usually, most probably, that will be a geo-referenced image. Means the coordinates, the information will be embedded into that image. So when you open that image in QGIS, you will see the coordinates value in the terms of latitudes and longitudes. So you can directly use that image for the digitization. If you got a Survey of India topo sheet with you, in that case, you have to georeference it because Survey of India sheet, topo sheet is a paper map, and you have to scan it using a large format scanner. And the TIFF file, you will open the georeferencer and georeference it, and only then you will be able to use it. One more interesting information is available here, that if you want to have that Survey of India topo sheet, what you will do? Any idea? From where you can get the Survey of India topo sheets?
Survey of India, Google Survey of India, sir.
There is one website, SOI Nakshe. Okay. I'll just try. I don't remember the exact URL, but I'll just I think I'll just share my screen so that you can see. SOI Nakshe. Yeah, this is the URL, soinakshe.uk.gov.in. Okay, it is the Survey of India's facility. Online map portal has been launched on this thing. Okay, the problem is there. Just let it open. Search maps and digital products. PDF. This website is slow. Yeah. So I'll just go back and tell you what exactly I did. We'll go to onlinemaps.surveyofindia.gov.in, and here we have open series maps. 3 PDF option is there. Click on that. A new page will open. This interface has been changed. I'm also seeing it for the first time now. Anyway, so you have to just enter the sheet number, or even search sheet. The number is there. I don't know what it will do. Okay, state and district you can search. Okay. So either you can search it through this facility, or you can just write the sheet number here and just press download. PDF will be downloaded. And even you can open that PDF in Geo Referencer and can georeference it, or you can extract the image from that PDF and save that image as a JPG file or TIFF file, and can use it as a base map for this thing. Okay, so that is one option. So you can just use a satellite image, use a previously scanned colony map, district map, municipal corporation map. And if the coordinates are there, well and good. If coordinates are not there, then you have to collect the coordinates from the field and use them for the georeferencing. So once you do that, you are just okay, and you can just proceed with the data creation process. Okay. So this is what exactly will be the process of doing it. So whatever the georeference map is there, you will open it, and then you will decide what kind of features you want to extract out of it. Okay. See, this is a beautifully drawn map. So whenever I digitize it, I will not digitize these latitude, longitude tick marks. This grid I will not digitize because the data is already on latitude and longitude, and I can always draw a grid on it. Grid at any interval I can draw. So what I'm interested in these features, these polygons, I'm interested in the road network, I'm interested in the red colored points, that the location of the towns and cities which is there. In that I am interested. So I will pick up the features which are there. Okay. So say for example, in this particular map, I see three types of features. One is the polygon feature, which is representing the polygon of each tehsil of Indore. Then some yellow colored road network is there, and then red colored point data is there. So three types of layers I can create out of this. One is a polygon layer, that will be a tehsil polygon. One will be a road layer, and third will be a point layer, which will be the location of the tehsil headquarters. And one more layer, 9 layer may be there, that is the railway track. So that way we can create 4 layers. So what will happen now in AutoCAD, when you want to create the data, you will create a file, save it as a mydata.dwg, and in that file itself you will create these 4 layers. But here in GIS you cannot do like this. Each shape file will be able to hold only 1 layer. So if you want to create 4 layers, means you have to create 4 separate shapefiles. And while creating the shapefile, you have to decide well in advance that what kind of features you want to store in that. Suppose I want to create the point data. I may call it location.shp. So in that location file, if I'm creating that for the point data creation, then while creation of that file, I have to define that this is a point file. The type of features in the file will be point. So you will not be able to add lines to that. You will not be able to add polygons to that. Okay. So a feature wise, we will create the files, and each file will represent a single layer over here. Okay. So I'll just try to open the data which is already there with me, so that you will understand how the things will open on top of it, because this is a differently georeference map and the data created is coming from some different source, so they may not overlap. Okay. What I will do is I will close this, and I will use a previously georeference map, so the things will properly sit on each other. Okay, so this is okay. I will open a raster map first, and I go to D drive, Indore, and here I go here, modified Indore raster, district raster, yeah, add, and say close. Okay, this is it, no problem. This map is slightly different. Look wise it is different, otherwise everything is the same. And then we'll open some vector files which were created using this particular base map, 3 shape files. So I will open tehsil, shape, road, railway track, places, and say open, add, and close. Yeah, it is opening properly, not a problem. Yeah. So this is tehsil map. Okay, I'll just put off everything first. So this is the tehsil polygon. This is the railway track, and this is places. Road layer is not there. Okay. If it will be there, then it will be added as a one more layer. Not an issue. So if you just see it, on the disk, you will find that if you okay, so for everything, say in places dot shape, one file is there, and I told you that whenever you create a shape file, it will not be a single file, but it will be a group of at least 6 files. So this is a shape file for the places. This is shape file for the railway track. Then road is also there. Then tehsil is also there. Okay. So one by one we can open. So now I will add the road. So okay, so the road is already there. Road is already there. But I think road is not having anything. No, it's having. Yeah, data is there. Okay, so we have got tehsil polygon, road, railway, and places. So four layers are there, means 4 shape files are there. Now the question arises: I am having only this map with me, this map, georeference map with me. How to start? How to create the data? So data creation will definitely do in the next session, but at least how to create an empty file, that part we'll see today. Okay. So for create, so I'll just remove all these things so there won't be any confusion. So just selected everything and say remove layer. So all these layers will be removed. Remove layer. Yeah, 5 layers have been removed. So this is my georeference file. Okay, I will not use this one. I will open the file which we are using. So I'll just remove layer and I go to again raster, add raster, and navigate to the folder which we created for this purpose. That is in drive D. We are having GIS training. Inside that we are having these files. Okay, it's a shape file. So I have to use the raster file I opened. Add and close. Now I have planned the process of data creation and I have decided that I have to create 4 layers. So means I have to create 4 empty shape files. How to do it? Let us see. So we have got the layer option here in the main menu, top menu bar. If you go to layer, so many other options will come. Add layer, it is the same thing. You can add the layer from here also. Suppose you go to add vector layer, the same menu will come. So this menu may be invoked from here, even from here, and also from here. So it is only a matter of our convenience that from where we want to create it or want to add it. Okay. Then again, you have got all the options: add vector, raster, mesh, PostGIS, specialized, so many things. So don't bother about the rest of the things. So we want to create a layer. So we'll use this option, create layer. And what kind of data container we will create? We can create a geo package. We can create a new shapefile. We can create a small specialized database layer. So we are interested only in the shapefile. So we'll click on the new shapefile layer. Okay. Now it will ask for the file name. Don't be in haste just to type the file name here. First, you browse to the folder where you want to create the data. So I will go to that particular folder, and that folder is on drive D, and there I am putting a folder. No, not drive D. On your computer is on drive D. On my computer it is on some other drive. So you go to that particular drive, go to the data for workshop, or whatever the folder is there. And then suppose I want to create the places or locations. So I should give a meaningful name. It should not be ABCD or 1, 2, 3 or something like that. And the file name is shapefile. And then encoding, we don't bother about encoding. Then geometry type it is asking. So if you expand this, no geometry means we can create a layer without geometry also. But because we want to digitize, so we'll go for the point. Forget about multi-point at this stage. And if you want to use the Z values in the data, then you use this particular option. In QGIS prior to version 3, this addition of the Z value was not available. So this is available only in version 3 onwards. So anyway, I will not go into the Z part right now. After that, it will ask what kind of projection it is. Okay, so we have georeferenced our map. We know that it is on EPSG 4326. If it is georeference map is on some other projection, then that proper appropriate code we will use for it. So here there is no problem. And then it is asking for field names because in GIS when we create a data, so when I just put the marks on it in AutoCAD, what you do? You just do the digitization and there itself on the screen you write the name of the places as text. But in GIS we'll not do like this. We'll just create the data. That is the spatial data. Then attribute data we will add later on, or even during the creation of the data we can add the attribute data. Attribute data is the data which is associated with that geometric entity. Suppose I'm putting a point on somewhere. So I would like to write the name somewhere there, but I may be interested in writing the population of somewhere, the name of the district administrative officer of somewhere, the male-female ratio in the somewhere, the eligible voters in the somewhere, number of tube wells in the somewhere, number of schools in the somewhere, so many things. So that I cannot write everything on the drawing itself. So that information I will write somewhere in a table. So that table will be created here itself. So add fields. Right now there is no field added to my data. But suppose, and every feature when you create, you have to assign some ID to it because each feature will have a unique ID. So ID will, what type of data will be there? It will be a whole number. ID will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it cannot be text. If you say text, then instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, you will be able to write ABCD and it will be a problem. So you have to decide the field type and field name and appropriate type. Suppose I want to write the population of somewhere. So naturally, I will not go for the text data. So of course, in text I can write the numbers, but I will not be able to perform mathematics. I will not be able to perform comparisons. Okay, so it will be a whole number. I want to write the the area of the somewhere town. Then that will not be a whole number, that will be a decimal number. So depending on that, I have to just decide and write the things. Okay, see, name and ID, this is already added here. If I say okay, layer named places dot shp will be created, and in that attribute table, only one column will be there that you can see now that has been added. I'll remove this. Okay. Because we have not added any data to this, that's why nothing is visible. You just select this, right click on it, and go to attribute table. Attribute table means the associated attribute data. You see, only ID column is there because no data is there. That is why this table is empty. But you want to add one more field to this, like name, because it is the name of the place. Okay. So here the editing option is there. From here also I can add the fields. So while creating, I can add the fields, add as number of fields, as many fields I want, I can add, and I can do it later also. So I demonstrated how we added ID. Now I can add one more field. So I click on edit, and then you see here there is an option for new field. Once I click on it, it is asking for the name. So that is the place name. And name will always be text, somewhere Indore, Ujjain, Mahu. And length, if you want to specify in your area, some names are very, very long. So you can keep that limit, that maximum limit. Okay. So I think 20 to 25 will be fine, good enough. But depending on your data, it may vary. Okay. Now you see one more field has been added. And as you'll add the data, the rows will be added here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and name you have to type. So that way you can create the thing. So you will not be writing anything here on the drawing. Whatever you will write, it will go to an attribute table. Okay. Now we go to the structure of our shapefile. In shapefile, I told you that it is a combination of at least 7 files. Okay, what are those 7 files? Just a minute. Suppose I go to Indore and see these places. Okay. So how many files are there? Places.cpg, places.dba, places.prj, qpj, shp, and shx. So shp will hold the coordinates of that point feature. That is x and y value will be stored in .shp, and whatever the ID and name and district administrator's name, number of schools, number of colleges, number of hospitals, number of COVID patients, and whatnot, whatever you plan, whatever you can just add. So that information will go into .dbf file. Okay, so dbf file will be having, suppose you are adding 5 points. So dbf file will have 5 rows. Shapefile will also have 5 rows, and each file will have a unique ID. And using that ID, these two tables will be linked together. And when you open a shapefile and right click on it and see the attribute table, you will be able to see the data here. So some data is coming from SHP, some data is coming from DBF, projection information is coming from PRJ, and SHX is holding the indexing information for relating the two tables. So it is a split file system. In Word and MS Excel and AutoCAD, we just keep the data in a single file, but Shapefile is a split file system. We are splitting the information into different parts and storing it. And when we open that SHP file, the related information, relevant information from different files is fetched by the software and is displayed seamlessly to you in either in the form of geometrical features on the map canvas or in the form of attribute table. Okay. Now see the wonderful thing here. I will just open my attribute table, which has been already created, my data. Okay, so I'm just removing this thing, and I am opening a data which has been created by me earlier. Say not this, that is in D drive, Indore. So what I'm trying to tell will be more clear to you. Places.shp, open and add and close. Okay, see some 5-6 points are coming now. If I right click on this and see the attribute table, I see the IDs and the names. Okay, now there's a relationship between these things. Suppose I click on number 1 point. That number 1 point is highlighted here. Is it visible properly? Okay, I can just do one thing. I can just increase the feature size.
So it is visible, sir.
Okay, but anyway, I'll just increase so that it will be more clear. Apply. Okay, yeah. So if I click on 4, it is highlighting here. So now, because there is a relationship, software understands the relation between the DBF table and SHP table. Okay, and suppose I click on the map. Okay, now I click on. Suppose I select some point here. I click on this, and I go to the attribute table again. Oh, sorry, not this. Just a minute. This is the information. I go to the select feature option and select one feature. Okay, for that I have to make it current layer now. And if I go to attribute table, see this row is selected. So either I select the things from map, the row will be selected. If I select a row, the feature will be selected. This there is a relationship between that. Okay, so this is how the your data will appear. I will open one more thing, one more layer. Suppose I open the Tehsil. Okay. Say open, add, and close. Now right click it, go to the open attribute table. Now you see we are having 3 columns here. The district, Tehsil, and D name is also there. ID is not there because by default it is adding the IDs. But we can add our own IDs, not a problem. Suppose if you want to add the district area, you can add the number of hospitals in the district, you can add so many things. You can always number of percentage of agricultural land, percentage area covered by water bodies, all those things we can go on adding the fields, and just by the new field we can add and we can create the data. Of course, this data we have to manually enter because what is the area, what is the population, those things will come from some other source. Of course, the area you can always compute from this, but other information we have to enter manually into the system. Okay. So this is how the Polygon file will look like. Okay. Now let us see how we'll create a Polygon file. So we created a point file. Now for digitization of road, I would like to create a layer called roads. So I'll go to layer, create layer, and then say new shapefile layer. Again, I told you don't write the name directly here. Just use this browse button and store the things at your desired location. So it is roads, save. Now it is asking for geometry type. Eventually, road will be a line string, and projection is very, very important here. EPSG 4326, and road. Suppose I want to give the ID. I can give an ID. It will be a whole number. Then I can add one more field. It is like road name. Road name will be text. I think added to field list. Yeah, it has been added. Suppose I want to say the road type, whether it is a concrete road or tar road or kacha road or whatever it is. Road type. So type will be a descriptive thing. Or if I want to use some kind of code numbers for that, then I will use the whole number. If I want to describe tar road, concrete road, then I can use text. So it is up to me to decide. Okay, done. Now a table has been created with 3 columns. At any point of time, I want to delete some column, I can delete it. I want to add more columns, I can just put on the editing and I can add more columns to it. Okay, so this is the basic fundamental concept of the GIS data. In GIS, we have got 2 types of data. One is vector data, another is attribute data. Special data is of 2 types: vector and vector data and raster data. That is a type of a special data. But if you talk about the special data, so one is the special data which is holding the vector information, and another is which is holding the description of that vector. So that is the attribute data. So the coordinates, the vector data, and the text or the numbers describing those coordinates or defining those coordinates or associated with those coordinates, that will be the attribute data. So I'll just show you some more examples of attribute data, and then we'll just stop today's this thing. MP data, if you see, and you open the MP district, open, add, and close. Now let us see the attribute table here. It's a huge table. So it all depends that what kind of data you want to store and what you are going to do with that. Depending on that, these fields or the attribute fields will be there. There is no thumb rule for it. So the data creator knows that what kind of information, attribute information he wants to store with this. And that particular information, he will keep it here with this. Okay. I can show you, I think, let me just see. if some more data is available, so I can show you. Just a minute. Yeah. So these are the municipal wards of Indore. Okay, so it is sitting at a proper place because everything is geo-referenced. Everything is at the real world coordinates. So I just put it off and see the attribute table of this. I'm having even ward name in Hindi is also there. In ward name, the urban names of ward ID or some other things are there. So this kind of thing we can always create from paper map or an image and can use it. So a lot of so this kind of data is available, that has been created by my students, by myself. Okay, I'll show you other things at some other time. Okay, list 3. I think yes, one more interesting thing is just coming in front of me. I'll just show you. Let's see. FCC. Yes, head. Close. Put it off. Zoom to there. See, this is a satellite image. Maybe some part of Bhopal probably. So you see, when I move cursor on top of it, you see the things are coming in latitude and longitude. So if I create an empty layer and start digitizing these things, I can always digitize this water body, the agriculture fields or whatever it is. So this way, any source can be used as a base map, and on that base map we can create our layers, point layers, line layers, and polygon layers. And suppose point layers are there, 2-3 point types of points are there. City locations are there, tube wells are there, ATMs are there, petrol pumps are there. Then we can keep them in separate layers, places, petrol pumps, ATMs, tube wells, all that. If you want to keep them in one layer, we can keep it because it will allow. Because in point layer, you can always store the point. But in the data field, you have to create a field type. So 1 will be used for road, 2 will be used for petrol pump, 3 will be used for tube wells, like that. So it all depends on how you plan it. Okay. So I think it's enough for today. So you please try to digest it, whatever I have communicated to you. And if still some questions are there, you are most welcome.
Sir, after creating the shape file or the polygon file, can we merge or can we add Excel data to that, sir?
Yes. We'll be doing that. We'll do that.
Yes.
Because many times what will happen, you will create a point data and
Yes.
associated attribute data may be so huge that it will be a tedious task to add it manually. Okay,
Yes,
suppose you have some socio-economic data of some district.
yes.
Because I don't belong to civil engineering background. That's why I cannot cite a specific example related to civil engineering. But say this everybody understands. Suppose you have got a district or tehsil data and some socio-economic data, male-female ratio, per capita income, and number of government schemes for SC, ST, and like this, so many, some 50, 80, 100 fields will be there. So
Yes.
one thing is that you go to each village and type all the things in that table. That is one way. Or you can download that table from some government portal, or you can request from some government agency that Excel table may come with you. And you have got a shape file in which you are having the point locations and their names are there. And then you can always associate that Excel table to this data. Only the condition is that you have to have some common field in both the tables.
ID
That's why
numbers.
we write the IDs. So suppose some 5 villages are there and you are giving unique ID to 5 villages and the 5 villages are there in another table. So you give the same ID to those tables. So that is relatively a simpler task.
Okay.
Or what we do when we create the data, depending on the attribute data, we create the IDs like that only. But if attribute data is coming at a later stage, then of course we have to write the similar kind of IDs in this thing. Okay. And then you can open it and it will associate.
Yes. Thank you.
So by the way, what is your background, Meena Kumari?
Sir, myself working as associate professor in the Department of Architecture at Tyagaraja College of Engineering, Madurai, Tamil Nadu, sir.
Okay.
I'm doing my research. So I was in need of the understanding of GIS and all. So it was a great opportunity for me to have this.
Yes, you go ahead, because a lot of things you can do yourself and independently, and a lot of support and help is available through community, YouTube videos, lectures, and even you can interact with me also at any point of time.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, anybody else?
Any query? Yes, from participants.
So, madam, if no more questions are there, then I think we can end the session.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you from my side if no questions are coming.
So thank you very much, sir, for giving hands-on exposure to the participants. Or I hope everyone will work on it, and you can later on also you can send your queries. No, we'll try to sort it out. Yeah, in whatever capacity we can do that. Sir, just wanted to say one thing, that like excellence is not about being the best, but doing the best. So I request all the participants to kindly, in whatever capacity, with whatever resources they are having, but do your best and participate and interact more. So
yeah, that is really important. Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So so should we end today's meeting, sir?
Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
sir. So tomorrow also hands-on practice sessions will be there, I think, in the
So
morning.
yeah, tomorrow we'll be talking about the data creation.
Okay,
So
sir.
whatever the base map is there, then how to digitize points, lines, and polygons. That will be
Okay.
done.
Okay. So we all will
So
meet tomorrow.
I think it's better if they come with Geo Reference map and come with laptop or desktop, so that they will be able to do the things parallelly.
Yes.
Otherwise, the YouTube videos are also always available and you can use them. But being an expert present here and interacting you is a rare opportunity, because
Actually, sir,
many times some issues
they
will
should
emerge,
avail the
and
opportunity.
instantly it will be solved here. So that is why it is always a good idea to do it simultaneously, or in the interactive session whenever you are asked to perform a task. If you do it at the same time, uh, I can promise you that your learning will be tremendous in that case. Okay. And later you can always do it without even joining this training program. You can do it. So try to come with a computer, so that you can be really get come full benefit of this particular program.
So this is actually
Okay.
a very good
Thank you.
opportunity for all, sir. They should interact, like they have the opportunity to get good interaction with you, sir. So they should avail this opportunity, I think, or everyone will participate. We can expect, sir, from tomorrow also.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
everyone. Okay. So we'll, sir, tomorrow we'll meet sharp at 10.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.